going to be the toughest fight of his career.
Sharp, relax.
The most embarrassing fight of his career.
Chair across your face.
Yeah, I think he's about to cry.
I'm definitely up for fighting. There's a lot of names in the division, for sure. But at the same time, look at what this creates as well. I'm a fighter and I understand that economics of business as well. And this does good business.
Are you really going to do this? Absolutely. Are we going to do this? For a record payday? To go in and spark Jake Paul before we start the serious stuff in 2026? Don't tell me what we should and what we shouldn't be doing.
Anthony Joshua has issued a chilling and unmistakable warning to Jake Paul, one that goes far beyond the usual pre-fight trash talk. While Jake may be celebrating the massive payday coming his way, those around Joshua are making it crystal clear just how dangerous and potentially disastrous this matchup could be for Paul. Eddie Hearn, Joshua's longtime promoter, didn't sugarcoat anything. He openly told Paul to truly understand the dangers he is stepping into, stressing that a single clean punch from Joshua isn't just fight-ending, it could be career-altering. Former pro heavyweight Moses Adama echoed the same fear, bluntly stating that stepping into the ring with Joshua carries serious injury risks that Jake might not fully grasp.
Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area level fighter, a British area level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, man.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz
no, man.
of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price.
I agree with you.
On it.
Jake Paul entering a ring with Anthony Joshua is being described by many experts as not just a risky career decision, it's a major threat to his physical safety. Prominent fight journalist Ariel Helwani highlighted that Joshua's devastating knockout power combined with his elite experience could expose Paul to real, lasting damage. Analysts are pointing to AJ's brutal knockout history as evidence that Paul may be severely underestimating what he's walking into.
Has been beaten 3 times. The 4 fighters that he beat didn't come to win. So he's not in his prime, is he? He's literally at the end of his career, pretty much finished. And this is why taking this fight with you is telling you all you need to know. It's a cash out. You might as well just cream as much money as he can at the end of his career, fighting an absolute joke shop in clown world. When I beat Anthony Joshua, he says, every doubt disappears. Come on. I mean, if this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a 1-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury for crying out loud. You can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, like, nothing's going to no doubt's going to disappear.
Rising heavyweight Moses went even further, urging Jake Paul to consider his health above everything else. He warned that one misjudged punch from AJ could have long-term consequences. Meanwhile, former world champion Amir Khan didn't hold back at all, stating outright that Joshua could hurt Paul badly, there could be brain damage.
Joshua sparked him out in like 2 rounds. Really? Why do you look surprised when I don't.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Come on, bro, you're fighting like one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Like, come on. Like, respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers that, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's gonna get hurt badly, and this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly, because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damages going on there. Man, AJ could hurt him badly, you know.
When you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat styles there is. I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou. So,
and that's why you don't look. You can't be surprised if AJ is going to do the same to what's it called again? What?
For Anthony Joshua, this fight is more than a huge payday. He's under intense pressure to deliver a dominant performance to protect his legacy. According to Johnny Nelson, AJ is trapped in a no-win situation. If he destroys Paul, critics will say it was expected. But if he struggles even for a moment, it could damage his reputation and make him look like a businessman chasing money instead of a true elite heavyweight.
Do believe it because AJ is involved, and I think AJ'd struggle to he's going to take enough flack over this, but again, it's money talk. So I think AJ will struggle because it's an all-win situation. If he goes in there, Jake Paul lasted the distance. What to tell you about AJ? Apart from he's just earned an extra 15 million quid. If he goes there and struggles with Jake Paul, then what to say about AJ? Your heydays are well and truly over. If he goes in there and knocks him out, then I'll say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul saying, "Oh, I've got rid of this kid." I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention. So now you've got to back up the boast. It's not about, you're not playing tiddlywink. This is the only game you can't play. You can play football, golf.
Johnny Nelson also shared a blunt assessment of Jake Paul's boxing career. Nelson acknowledged Paul's brilliance as a marketing genius but refused to accept that he is anywhere near world class. In his eyes, Paul is a solid domestic-level fighter whose earnings are on par with world champions, despite never climbing the traditional boxing ladder. Paul didn't grow up in the gym, didn't fight through amateurs, and didn't grind through small regional bouts. Instead, he built an online empire first, then used that fame to jump the line. Nelson believes Paul has mastered monetizing boxing, but when it comes to elite, high-skill fighters, Nelson remains unconvinced of Paul's legitimacy.
Dubois, he's going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I give too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea. And he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give him credit that he's respected the sport. He went out.
Former champion Carl Froch agreed, suggesting that a fight with Jake Paul might tarnish Joshua's long-term reputation. Froch believes AJ is drifting away from Hall of Fame greatness. At the same time, Joshua himself has emphasized that his biggest priority is his long-term health. He said his real legacy is simple, that I walked out healthy.
Burner's lit, like I've said. He's cashing out. And fair play to him, he's cashing out. But to what detriment to his legacy? A lot, really. Because if this is going to be his last fight, fighting this clown show, I mean, it's not ideal, is it? It's no ideal way to go out. But people would argue, well, he's just taking the money and running. So you can't really argue with that. So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fighting. I had to get my opinion out there because I know you've all been waiting for it. It's a shame, really. I'd like to see Anthony Joshua, actually, even though I don't believe he can do it. But when Eddie Hearn tells us that AJ is going to become a 3-time world champ, it'd be nice to see the rebuilding process and get back behind him. 1 or 2 easy fights and then go for a world title. And this could be one of the 2 easy fights. But I just think if you're going to jump in with fake Paul at this level, which is like I say, arguably a massive mismatch, it's no way to step towards or climb a ladder to get towards that world title. So this, for me, tells me that Anthony Joshua knows he's finished at any sort of elite level or world level. He won't be trying to go down the world title level anymore. This is just a cash out So good luck to him. Fair play to him, but hopefully when he's finished this fight, he'll be honest with us and say, listen, I've milked it, I've creamed it, I've had an unbelievable touch at the end of my career. I mean, he's already had an outrageous touch, hasn't he, with the involvement of Saudi Arabia. And now he's just creaming it at the end. He's got fake Paul, which is massive. Great for AJ, fair play to him. Anybody would do the same at the end of the career he's had. You know, he's not an elite heavyweight, is he? He's never going to come back and be...
But on the other side, Jake Paul is defiantly confident. He insists he can beat Anthony Joshua, claiming AJ is not the fighter he once was. On his podcast, Paul ruthlessly broke down Joshua's weaknesses, saying AJ doesn't have a chin, has no skill, and is stiff. He pointed to Joshua's recent knockout loss to Daniel Dubois as proof that AJ's durability has declined. According to Paul, his awkward timing, unusual movement, and rising momentum give him a real chance in what most consider a massive gamble.
Why is Jake Paul doing this? Well, I think it's because he genuinely believes there is a chance he can win this. I think he's calculated everything about Anthony Joshua's circumstances and he's gone, yeah, I actually think I can do this. I can leapfrog so many years of having to build and go through the ranks and do all that stuff by beating a shop-worn Anthony Joshua. And what are the factors in Jake Paul believing this? Well, it would be firstly that AJ received a loss in his most recent fight. Anthony Joshua's not been in the ring since September 2024, so over a year by the time him and Jake Paul get in the ring together. It will have been around 15 months. It was the manner of Joshua's loss where he looked terrible. He looked like a fighter that was well past his best. His timing wasn't there. He even looked a little bit chinny, dare I say. I mean, I still think he's got a good chin. The shot he took from Dubois was absolutely massive and would have knocked down many heavyweights. And he showed decent powers of recovery to get up and struggle through for as long as he did before his over-aggression and miscalculation with the type of shots he was using got him knocked out by Dubois. But if you're deluded enough like Jake Paul, then perhaps you look at that and go, he landed a massive right hand on Joshua's chin, why can't I do the same? I believe myself to be a very big puncher. And it's that old saying, isn't it? You know, you shoot for the stars, you might at least land on the moon. And I think that's kind of why Jake Paul's maybe got to where he is in life, because he does have too much self-confidence. He does believe in himself. Well,
Jake Paul believes this is the fight that changes everything. He says this is his moment to silence critics who claim he only fights smaller, older, or retired opponents. Facing Joshua, a giant, a former unified heavyweight champion, is Paul's way of proving he belongs at the top level. He boldly claims that after he beats Joshua, no one can deny me ever again.
Fight a real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed...
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas has a cautious, analytical view of the matchup. While he warns that this step might be too big for Paul, he doesn't completely dismiss the possibility of an upset. Atlas believes Joshua's recent knockout loss and long layoff introduced psychological vulnerabilities, ghosts in the attic, that could show up on fight night. Still, he acknowledges AJ remains far stronger, far more skilled, and far more dangerous. Atlas simply wants to see which version of Joshua shows up.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step. Where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding too that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so, it makes it two things at once. Intriguing and in some ways.
Atlas also stated that Jake Paul will likely never reach true world-class boxing status, despite respecting Paul's business intelligence and hard work. He says Paul is a work in progress, a dedicated student, but not elite material. Atlas credits Paul for taking boxing seriously and not disrespecting the sport, but maintains that Paul cannot just walk in and beat top-tier fighters.
That does it for this week's recaps and previews. I want to throw one more thing at you, and that's the news. It's been out there for about a month or so, and it's picking up more steam. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Now, Eddie Hearn came out this week most recently and said, I never thought I would say this, but right now the front runner for this fight is Jake Paul for Anthony Joshua's ring return. Joshua coming up almost on a year in September since his KO loss to Daniel Dubois. He's going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows not to get mad at me that I gave too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea. And he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give him credit that he's respected the sport. He went out there.
Boxing commentator Ade Oladipo cut straight to the point. If Jake Paul really fights Anthony Joshua, he believes AJ could knock him out in under 30 seconds. Oladipo says Paul's confidence is admirable, but the danger he's walking into is unlike anything he has ever faced. He still credits Jake for having the courage to call out a man so much bigger and more experienced, but Oladipo strongly favors Joshua's power to dominate quickly.
AJ versus Jake Paul. Jab.
AJ.
Defense.
AJ.
Chin.
AJ.
Footwork.
AJ.
Boxing IQ.
AJ.
Personality.
Jake Paul, however, has dropped a bombshell regarding money. He claimed the fight could generate around $267 million, far higher than the reported $92 million each is expected to make. If true, this would place the fight among the richest boxing events in history, proving how enormous the spectacle has become, but the stakes for Jake Paul go far beyond money. A brutal loss to Anthony Joshua could cripple his pay-per-view draw. Right now, Paul is one of the few modern crossover stars who can guarantee huge numbers. But a devastating loss to a real heavyweight would give critics all the ammo they need to dismiss him permanently. If fans may stop buying his fights, promoters may lose confidence, and the narrative of YouTuber pretending to be a boxer might return even stronger. Even Eddie Hearn admitted, if Jake loses badly, this could be the end of his boxing brand. In the end, this proposed fight is far more than a sporting event. It's a high-stakes gamble that could redefine or destroy both careers. Jake Paul sees it as the battle that will finally validate him. Critics see it as a reckless move that risks serious injury. Joshua sees it as a massive financial opportunity, but one that could damage his legacy if he slips out. A fight this big promises attention, money, and worldwide hype, but many believe it comes with more danger than reward.
Take Jake Paul, that's serious. He can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. Swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, there's just so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size. It was a professional. It's a mismatch, and you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him. He's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level, and then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds.
So the real question remains, is Jake Paul playing with fire by stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua?